And welcome to Tuesday evening. It's the Tile Happy Hour. And we are so glad you are here. Glad you are back from wherever you're traveling from. It has been a busy couple of weeks in the tile and stone industry, but you have found your way to the Tile Happy Hour tonight. And I've got my good friend John Tedesco hanging out with me tonight. And we are going to talk about the HD Expo, John, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's not only tile, but it is one of the big events in the tile and stone industry, right, John? I can't hear you, John. Your mic was...
There we are. Yeah, HD Expo, Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, last week.
Is it always in Mandalay Bay, or do they sometimes have it at the convention center?
I've always known it to be there.
Okay.
But I don't have a history with that show as much as some of the others. So, yeah, all the times I've been there, it's been there. So TileBar is fresh back from HD Expo.
Yes. And unlike the other conventions we talk about, we actually had a booth at HB Expo.
Yeah, HD Expo, we had an amazing booth, which maybe we'll give some pictures of the booth later. And it was just great show. What's different about this show is it's, Hospitality Design Magazine actually creates the show. And just as
I thought it was Home Depot. So I was wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong.
There's not a bunch of orange around.
Not at all. Don't even know if they're there. They're probably walking the halls. But HD Expo, hospitality design, what does hospitality mean? It's pretty much the hotel industry, restaurants, bars,
Gotcha.
Vacation destinations. And every single important person that's in that industry is at that show, particularly the design teams. If you're a developer, if you're a brand like a Marriott, just for example,
Gotcha.
You're going to be there and you're going to be checking out the newest thing. So yeah, it's really an amazing show. And it's held at this huge convention center, and there are things at the show that you just don't see anywhere else because some companies literally just come to market with things right at that show.
Well, I mean, I've seen. I've seen the pictures of all the stuff, and I know what's in our booth because I helped with a lot of that stuff. But there's cool things there, like
well, you know what, Craig? There's not only flooring.
Yeah, there's like hidden
furniture,
stuff for countertops and different types of sinks and all things that I guess are design related.
Well, yeah. So think about a hotel. So there's flooring, there's case goods, there's furniture, lighting, fabric, wall coverings. Those are like the 6 main categories of the HD Expo. And then there's a lot of ancillary services. Like if you want to find the newest, I guess, hotel safe, you'll find it there. Or,
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. So there's a lot of those things there. But when it comes to where do you spend the most money in a hotel? It's not just hotels, but that's a big part of it. But it's the finished materials, outside of building the building. But the show is not for that. This is more for,
which is why we make it a point to be there. It's important because when people are making those decisions, we want our tile to be there, and the big players in the hospitality department. That's where they go. Is this the and you know more about these things because you were in the retail business. I was just a lowly installer. Is this the only type of this in North America, or are there others?
Well, it's the largest in North America. Then there's the BDNY show, which is boutique design in New York. So it's actually affiliated with HD Expo, and that's in New York, and we display there too. So why do people go to the show? If you're a manufacturer, a distributor, or for products or services, obviously you want to get the eyes of people in the industry. But it's also to reassure the people that you're already dealing with. Like a lot of people went through the TileBar booth that already, like my customers, maybe from New York, but they're going to the show. And here's the booth. I mean, this is like, look at that. That's nicer than most showrooms. And that
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out how to move us around on the on that picture, but
you just make believe that's what you're intending to do, and everyone will
yeah,
enjoy
look,
it.
it's there you go.
Amazing.
But yeah, I think now I can't. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with the picture. You said bring up the picture, so I tried to make it happen. And
Well, banner, like the TileBar banner hanging from the ceiling, like the four-sided banner. I don't know if you noticed it.
yeah, that probably cost us $20,000 to
Yeah, you
hang.
have to hire the riggers to hang that up. But if I was in charge of a trade show, I would absolutely always spend the money on that, because when you're walking the hall, and how many times have you walked the hall and you're just like, that's like the North Star. Okay, turn left by TileBar, or meet me at TileBar.
And I don't know if this was intended or not. Maybe it's a rule, but I noticed at coverings 2 weeks ago in Atlanta, no one had those ceiling things as much as they normally do in Orlando. Because you're right, I was getting lost. I was like looking around, because normally I know that my pay has that big circular thing hanging from the ceiling, and it rotates, and it wasn't there. And so I'm wondering,
I think it has to do with the convention hall. Sometimes they just make it difficult, or it probably just boils down to what they charge for that. And some people look at that and like, all right.
But it was funny. I don't remember seeing any in Atlanta, so it must have been something with that convention center.
I'm going to go back and look at pictures, but some of the booths have some really tall, construction where they have the sign at the top. So, because I do remember seeing some large signs, but I don't remember seeing them hanging down. So, but the HD Expo is a great show, and TileBar really does a great job there. That booth is just stunning, and the design of the booth is nice. But so Craig, what's the nicest part of the booth?
The people.
Whatever. The tile.
The tile. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was all about our people.
You're being very diplomatically correct. I don't think any of our colleagues are.
I didn't know really where you were going there. But if you're just joining us, you've stumbled onto the Tile Happy Hour, and if you haven't figured it out, we're talking about the HB Expo tonight. But we want to get a little bit of paperwork out of the way. We are looking at your comments live. If there's something that you want to ask us about the HD Expo, we will give you the answer or make one up for you. We're broadcasting on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and if you're not watching live, maybe you're watching on a playback, still leave us a comment, like, share. This is where you want to talk about the tile, and that's what we do, right, John?
Yeah, and if you're not watching on any of those, we'll send you a postcard picture, snapshot of Craig and I.
That's right. That's what you were telling me earlier. It's like a blog, but it's on paper.
Right. We're talking about creating a newsletter, and we're like, hey, what's a newsletter? Well, it's like a blog, but it on paper. And
that's right.
That's great.
Yeah, I see Nayaf joined in online from Panama, and a couple of our TileBar peeps are looking in online. So
we got a great Panama team. I mean, we have people all over the world, and I'm just well. You actually went to Panama, didn't you?
Yeah, that group is amazing. They're great. Hey, Nayaf, and I was actually, I filmed a training down there, and coming soon that will be posted. But so I was reliving it as I was watching one of the cuts of the video, trying to get that ready. And I was like, man, I want to go back. I'm ready to go see my Panama friends. And Eloy, who is one of our reps there, he promised to take me on a hike when I come next time. So
cool.
I'm gonna hold you to it, Eloy.
Yeah, that just try to stay out of jail when you're in a foreign country, Craig.
Yeah. I don't want to go to jail in America, more or less anywhere that I can only speak like 5% of the language.
Exactly.
Donde está la baña? No.
I
see. I can't even do it. Yeah. But anyway, so the HB Expo is
Wait,
where.
let's get this straight. Hold on a second. It's not HB like boy. It's HD.
Okay, HD.
It's not like the saying HB.
HD, yes. Hotel Delta Expo.
That's it.
Which stands for Home and Design. Is that right?
Hospitality design. You threw me off. I literally paused because I didn't know. I forgot. I'm like, you just messed me up. Hospitality design at Expo, Mandalay Bay, every year in Vegas, and yeah, it's a great show. So what we did in Vegas was we showed some of our product that was hot and existing, online, ready to sell, ready to spec, ready to install. But we have a treat tonight. We're going to give people a sneak peek of things to come in the tile world because, Craig, who is the leader in tile design?
Well, it's TileBar, of course.
That's right. And we really set the trends. And, now we're speaking with so many manufacturers and they bounce things off of us. We bounce things off of them. They know that TileBar is the largest importer of tile from Spain and Italy. So we're definitely a player in the industry, and the hospitality industry recognizes that. So they're coming to us. They're building a hotel. It's going to be designed in the next few years and built in some of these things aren't going to be slept in for 7 years from now or 6 years from now, right? So
definitely everybody I talk to in the industry always says, well, TileBar's making some waves. And I'm like, you just wait. Just wait.
Yeah. It's good. And so what we're gonna show some of you today is some of the things that we're gonna give you a sneak peek on what's coming in the design world and the tile realm, and some really cool stuff. I think you're gonna like it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, you want to jump right in? Well, John, do you know kind of what was there a theme going into this? Do you think is there like a 2024 theme for the year? Is there? I know they. I
think sustainability is an unofficial theme of the design world right now. It's not just this year, it's not just last year, and it will be next year, and not just next year. But the sustainability means a lot of different things. So sustainability could mean in how it's manufactured, where it's manufactured, what's in it, more importantly, what's not in it, and then also longevity. What does it cost what's the footprint on maintaining it? So if you have carpet and you need to come in and clean it with a chemical every so often versus a tile where you can damp mop it with pH neutral cleaner with organic materials in it that doesn't have anything harmful, that's a plus, and that's important. Also, when I talked about longevity, you don't have to replace tile ever.
Yeah. And historically, I mean, just because sustainability is in the news and environmental impact is in the news today, the great thing about our industry is we've always been environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
Before it was cool.
Exactly. Right. Well, I always say it's, clay, water, and fire. It's a little more complicated than that, but it's not that far
Not
off.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think where we've come around, the factors have come around is what else can you do to make it more sustainable? So the factories themselves, so it's not necessarily the product, like a ceramic tile or a porcelain tile is not incredibly different from when it was years ago. Maybe the surfaces are different. The final layer that shows you these, textures and images. So what has changed and where has our industry become more environmentally friendly is at the factory themselves. Are they using solar power to generate, to heat up the furnaces? Are they recycling water? What are they doing with scraps and things like that? Inherently, again, it wasn't that bad either, but they're at the point where they're just fine tuning like that more than they need to fine tune the product because the product was already almost there.
Would
you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that. And I think you're right. I think the process was what got cleaned up. The actual material and the product was always pretty environmentally clean, but the process got cleaned up. Better efficient furnaces, like you said, water reclamation, and that became important, and that's where it got. I had a question I had never heard before, and and it kind of stumped me, because sometimes you get asked a question that's completely ridiculous and you think, is that true? But a client wrote in and said, hey Craig, can you help me and tell me what the polymer content of the tile is?
Polymer content.
And so I started thinking to myself, and I'm like, well, I know it's, you've got clay, you've got talc, you've got some other stuff. Maybe there's some binders in there. And then I just thought, I'm like, I don't think they know what they're asking. There's no polymers in tile. And so, but
did they ask you if it was gluten-free?
They didn't ask if it was gluten-free. I guess they were worried because, sometimes you have a wood burning stove, maybe in a cabin, that sits on a pedestal. Well, they were going to tile that pedestal and then sit their wood burning stove on there, which is no problem. I mean, tile is resistant. I guess they were worried if it had polymers in it, the polymers were going to melt and maybe the tile would melt. And it looked like was it Ansel Adams that had the melting clock? That's not Ansel Adams. The artist that had all the stuff melting, but no, your tile's not going to melt. It's fired at several thousand degrees. And, if you've got anything going on that's that hot, you've got bigger issues than your tile.
Yeah, exactly. If you're at 2,300 degrees and the tile's fired at 2,100 degrees, we're not worrying about now the tile melting or whatever it does, whatever it does at that temperature.
Really, I just think the more heat you put to it, the more brittle it gets. But I don't know. I don't know that we're going to have to worry about that. But anyway, that's kind of off the subject. We're not talking about polymers and tile.
Do you have a drink?
I've got my standard Leroy sweet tea Yeti.
Got a little Tennessee whiskey, and I got in the wrong glass. But when you were doing the start of the show, I realized I didn't have a drink, so grabbed one.
Welcome Groovy Builds to the Instagram feed. I love Instagram because I can see when people join, hop on.
Can you see? Is it live on my Instagram? I never check it, and I don't have it. I'm not set up.
I can't see your Instagram.
I gotta check it out one day.
So in Las Vegas last week, the TileBar team was there, and we were releasing new products. And John, you want to? I think these are in alphabetical order, possibly.
Yeah, and these are top secret.
So we're not going to show them.
No, we're going to show it. We just
we're going to show them.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to show them, but since we're all friends and it's top secret, here's some new series. And John, let me just say this for everybody. If you're shopping online tonight and you found us and you love these tiles, they're not currently available. They are either in process on the water, but here's what's coming soon. And the cool thing about watching this show tonight is this is the next cool thing that's going to be in the design magazines.
Yeah, other tile distributors and dealers are going to be coming up with these products 2 years from now. And this is... So if you're working with TileBar, once this hits the ground here in the U.S., you're going to be the first. You're going to be the first kid in the block that can design with this. So full disclosure, top right-hand corner, the lawyers told us to say collection in stock soon. So what does that mean? We don't know. That just means one day it's coming. So don't call TileBar and say, John and Craig said we can have ACO, and they're going to be coming back to us saying, what are you guys doing? It's not available yet.
Not available yet. That's right. But I know that we had sample boards created just for the show. So anything that we are showing, it was shown at the show. So if you were there at HD Expo, you probably got to touch and feel some of this.
Yeah.
And we're just, we don't want the rest of the community that maybe wasn't able to make it to Las Vegas.
This is your virtual tour.
This is your virtual tour. So take it away, John.
I think we're going to avoid the stuff that's already live, and we're just going to first focus or entirely focus on the new stuff. So let's expand this a little. If we can. This is called ACO, unless Craig calls it ACO, and I honestly don't know what it's called. But what's really cool is when you see the word AKO. Oh, it could be that too. Micro mosaic. What does that mean? That usually means little chips of mosaic. So these are probably hand clipped mosaics. It's beautiful, coastal colorways. Really, really nice. There's 3 different colorways, and there's different formats. If you see, there's kind of that trapezoid, I think that's called, and hexagon, and this rectangular thing. And quite frankly, I don't know how to use some of those things yet.
Well, I know that I am actually doing a learning video on these micro mosaics. We get we have the micro mosaics, and in just a current sheet, a square sheet, and people always ask the question, should I grout it? Should I not grout it? And which is a very good question, because they are very tight together.
And so you can understand why they're asking.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And so I'm doing a video about that. I just did the B-roll for it last week. And so that'll be coming out soon. But it's really cool. I love these micro mosaics. I love the way they look, and I think they're neat.
Yeah. And it's the way mosaics were done centuries ago, like little chips. Really cool. Yeah. All right, so we're at AKO. Oh, so this is big. Let's expand this a little. So this is a designer collection. Most of you know of Elizabeth Sutton. She's dynamic. She has a whole bunch of award-winning lines on the TileBar platform, and this is interesting because she has the arc in marble currently, which is a big selling item, right? You've seen that. You've done some segments on that.
Yeah.
And so this is now terrazzo and marble, and the finishes are honed and polished. And these are 12 by 12 tiles. So, they're just little thumbnails here, and great for walls and floors, all types of areas, backsplashes, bathrooms. I did a boutique hotel in Canada, and they did this without the terrazzo, just all marble, like in the feature walls. Really, really nice. So, 2 formats. And what that means is that the pattern, if you look closely, if you look at, say, in the middle, the green, there's, the lines are slightly oriented differently. And
I was seeing if there was a bigger picture, but it's not.
Well, yeah, but actually the next slide is actually important, because with this page and then the next page, you can do all sorts of cool things. So here's just like random, it looks random, but it's kind of like this collage or a patchwork of the same material. This is cool.
I love that. I like the way you say patchwork. It looks like a quilt. Do y'all have quilts up north? We have quilts down here in the south. Yeah. Looks like something my grandma would make.
Did she do it out of terrazzo?
No, she did it out of quilt material, which I don't know what that is, but some sort of linen. But
so I like
I
this.
love it.
Oh, let's keep score in our heads, like what we like the best. So marigold. So this is a new trend. I don't know what the word is, if it's a trend or not, but this is the direction of the industry. Large format tiles, 24 by 48. And we've talked about this before, biophilic, which is kind of nature or kind of like natural looking materials. And these obviously are floral patterns, quite impressive. And just picture that in a 2-foot by 4-foot tile.
That's huge.
And it creates like,
I don't know where you would use that.
Okay. So in a hospitality setting, the wall of a lobby, the back of a bar, the front of a bar, in a suite, this could be the back wall of a.
What about in your home?
In my home, if I had multiple bathrooms and there was I guess her suite, like a feminine suite, and someone wanted to put it's really like wallpaper. Right.
Okay.
And what I am concerned about is it says it's good for curved walls. What the heck does that mean? That makes no sense.
I don't know.
Great for floors. It's so random of a comment, and it doesn't even make sense because it's really not good for curved walls.
I mean, what is the thickness. Is it a thin gauge porcelain? Because if it's a thin gauge porcelain, if it's 3 millimeters to 6.5 millimeters, yeah, you can install it on a slight curve.
What do you mean, bend it?
Yeah. Yep.
Really? All right.
Yep.
I'm calling you up when I need that. I don't know. It doesn't say if it's a thin gauge porcelain. So we'll have to see.
Normally at 24, if it's 24 by 48, normally it's not.
Yeah, you're right. But, if it's a thin gauge porcelain and they want to cut it smaller, they'll usually do a 30 by 60 as a small size.
Yeah. So that's that may be worth a question to the powers that be.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Autograph. Oh, this is your classics.
Yeah. So made in Italy. Now look at the sizes, Craig.
Oh yeah. 124 by 48. So these probably are thin gauge.
Back up. That's not a 1.
Well, that's not a 1. Okay. I was going to say this is a thin gauge porcelain, which 120 by 60 is something. I'd never seen 124, but
it's a divider line.
I see that. Probably should have had
but Craig, but you're right, because slabs of porcelain are usually like 110, and some of them are pushing them a little bigger now. So
I've seen 120 by 60 before, but I may would have put an extra space in there. Gosh, now we're criticizing the creative team.
Yeah, we're gonna get a phone call. All right, guys, complaining about the curve wall, complaining about, but that vertical divider line does not work. So 48 by 48. So can you imagine stocking a tile 48 by 48? That's amazing.
Yeah, and you know how many tiles come in a box?
Half.
Probably one. Yes.
You got
one tile per box.
You got to glue 2 together because it's too heavy to have one full piece in a box.
But this is, I guess the title says it all. Autograph. This is the classic colors. This is your classic. When you think of Italian marble, these are the colorways and shapes you're thinking of.
The Viba Arabescato. Nice. Yeah. So it says 3D matte satin and 3D matte finish. So 3D matte, I guess it has some texture.
It has texture, and I guess we should have touched and filled these before, or it's got maybe a 3D look, a depth to the print,
right?
Maybe.
All right, to be determined. When is it going to be determined? When the collection is in stock soon.
That's right. It's in stock soon.
Exactly. Bansu. So this is kind of towards that biophilic look, in a sense where it's not like floral, but it's like nature. This is kind of almost like a wood or a bamboo, or maybe I guess more of a wood look. Yeah. And wow, the textures are really, really cool. Now, what's really cool about this is not porcelain. This is real marble that's been worked. How do you think they did that?
I bet a CNC machine. My thought.
What's CNC stand for? Do you know? I don't know.
Controlled pneumatic.
Controlled.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Cutting pneumatically controlled, but I don't know. I would think
if you said that with confidence, I would have believed you.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't quick enough on that. I find it hard to believe it would be that consistent if it was done by hand,
or affordable that it could be put.
Correct.
Anybody can take couple tiles and sit there and carve it, and then it's a statue. But to put something in stock. Good, it says good for statement walls and backsplashes. Yeah. Japanese shosugubam technique creates textured wood look. So we got to look into that shosugubam technique, see what that's all about.
Yeah, that sounds fancy.
I like the size, right? Because stone is often 24 by 24 or 12 by 12, 16. I like that size.
Yeah, I think it's funny that the size says 16 by 16, but the pictures are 12 by 24.
Yeah, well, it costs more money to show more of a picture. It's like more ink on the paper.
Gotcha.
So we were saving money on that.
Okay, right, but we didn't print these.
Yeah, just go along with me.
Oh, this is the best one.
Oh, look at this. This is nice. So precision
I guess.
Watercut. Yeah, we got. Well, I'm just curious. Precision watercut, allowing intricate designs. Okay, this is just to tease people. Coming soon.
That's right.
12 by 15.
If you like, I want somebody to buy it just off the name.
That's right. I'm gonna make that sale.
And
Botticino Extra Light. Well, this doesn't.
Everybody knows what that looks like.
Botticino is a classic Italian stone. Brioni sounds like a Italian beer, or am I thinking Peroni? But yeah. So what's the takeaway here? 18 by 48, right? It's not 12 by 24. It's not 24 by 48. What do you think of that size?
That's interesting. That's I don't know that I've seen that size before. 18 by 48.
Yeah. Now take a look at the
I like that.
What does that remind you of? Like, what series does it remind you of a little?
A little bit of the Kenridge or the Enzo.
Correct. Enzo
with the lines.
Inspired.
Yeah, chevron. You know, everybody loves a good chevron pattern.
This is true. All right, love that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Wait, go back a little. One click. You see in the top right-hand corner, almost top right, there's a little symbol there. So what we're starting to do on the TileBar literature websites is when the product has some kind of classification, typically that has some sort of ergonomically.
That means it's
you could go. It's really fast.
Yeah. You can ergonomic. It doesn't give you carpal tunnel.
Environmentally friendly features to some degree, and there's so many accrediting agencies that it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Brioni. That's one of them. Good call. Cantico. Another one you just got to buy from the name.
12. Okay, let's use our imagination here, Craig. Cantico. Okay, lava stone and cement. I mean, that sounds crazy cool already.
Yeah.
The formats varies. This is just, I don't think the world is ready to see a picture of this yet. So we're just easing people into it.
I don't think we made up the pictures yet. They're still in AI is still developing them.
And look at the colors, 12 colors, 4 formats.
Yeah, 12 colors. And look, matte and glossy.
All right, about 7 episodes from now, we may have a picture of this. We'll see.
Yeah. Cement wood. It's petrified. I would have called this series petrified.
Oh, yeah. So I was going to say that's like an oxymoron, cement wood, but no, but there is something cement wood, really, right? It's like.
Oh, and this is LVT, John.
Look at that luxury vinyl tile. I did not notice that. So rigid core click. So we have this really great system that our click systems are really easy to install. The edges you drop in, and this probably has acoustical enhancing features, right? I don't know if it says that or not, but this is cool. 12 by 48, love it.
Yeah, we're actually a little note to everybody out there in TileBar land. Next Thursday, we're doing a training on the click system and some installation tips and tricks and how to kind of make sure that your client's installing it correctly and all those good things. So
yeah,
I just got finished shooting that video. I've watched the final cut of it and just finished the handout today. So our the great thing about our LVTs is as the guy with the coolest title in the company, Jeremy Solomon, who's the EVP of LVT, he has curated some really cool items that are unique. And we want,
you know, Craig, he's the only one to think of bringing the beauty of wood and concrete together. Like, who would think of that?
I still would have called it petrified.
Yeah.
So that
was like Reese's Pieces moment, right?
Yeah.
Chocolate, and you have peanut butter, and who would have thought to put them together? And here we have wood and concrete, and we're putting it together, and we did
put them together.
Yeah, love it.
Kai. There's a guy in my church. His name's Kai.
Really, that's a good name.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think about this line?
So it's herringbone tri-stacked porcelain. So it looks like a just perfect item for an accent wall in a bathroom. That's what immediately comes to mind.
Yeah, and so what? I'm assuming these sheets are 12 by 12. So if they are, the chip sizes are pretty small.
Right.
So that's notable. And that's just gives a cool look. And what does that mean? How important is grout on this?
Very important. And I can't tell if those herringbones are gloss or whatever. Are they flat? If they've got some depth to it, man, you get a lot of clean water, and let's make it happen.
And how much would, I know you did a demonstration once on how much grout impacts the look. Say white subway tile with black grout, white subway tile with white grout, white subway tile with gray grout, right? Just completely different looks.
Completely different. Yeah, you can change the whole vibe of the area just by picking a contrasting or a complementary grout color. And especially when you're doing something that's small format like this, because you got literally almost as much grout as you do tile.
That's true. Now look at the bottom row, those stacked sticks, whatever you want to call them.
The horizontal,
Yeah. So to rotate that sheet one turn to the right, so the vertical. That's a product that's good for curved walls. Let's get that. Can you cut and paste that thing before and put it on the sheet?
Yeah. I agree with that. That product would be good for curved walls. The other product's still out for. I have to do a test on that.
But, bring your hammer out when you want to put that on the curved wall.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Canbina. Or I'm sure it's probably like Kanbana. I don't know.
I'm thinking Kanbina. Where do you put the emphasis? The emphasis on the wrong syllable. It could be Kanbia. I'm going to go with Kanbia. So Kanbia is a 5x18 ceramic tile,
which is really unique size also.
That is very unique.
I love these unique sizes. I mean, I'm so glad we're getting away from the 3x6, 4x4, 6x6,
3x12s.
I mean, we got so many other different numbers.
This is really cool. So this has a lot of shade variation. There's a lot of tones within each colorway. So there's a lot of shading, and the way they make these tiles, they're fired more than once. So it does some magic on the glaze.
It's kind of like you and your career.
Yeah, it's dynamic and magical. And
I thought I was thinking fired more than once.
Multiple times. Yeah, I was getting to that. So Kanbina is really hot. I think this was a big reaction at the show.
Yeah, it looks cool. I love the colors. The colors are kind of the very vintage 70s, just groovy. That mustard color is hot. I'm telling you that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's a brown mustard. That's more of a golden's, right?
Which I like golden spicy. So
yeah.
That's where
I don't like the yellow. You like the yellow mustard?
I mean, yellow mustard is made for deviled eggs, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. That doesn't entice me to want to use it.
Nature Pathway. So
what do you think of this?
This looks like a maybe. Man, I would have to see this. I'm going to say something that I may regret, but this looks like a possible good alternative to the round river rock, which I detest. I hate that tile.
So I know why you don't like the river rock, and this is probably from the same source or similar, because I see some of the color names are the same: the Lovina white, the Prom gray, the Lombok. So I think what happened is that Craig Cahoon has such gravitas in the industry that word got out, and they're like, we got to make something that's Craig.
Because these look like they fit together. They look like they're more consistent. You're going to have more consistent grout line, but yet you may still have that stone underfoot feeling, which is what everybody talks about. I love my river rock because it feels like I'm in a spa, blah, 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 blah. Right. But if you've ever tried to install it, you will lose your mind.
Good point. Yeah. So can't wait for you to get your hands on some sheets of this and do some tests on that. It looks, it's the opposite of river rock. There's like no grout or very little.
It looks like there'd be very little grout, and it looks like the sheets may go together pretty easily. So therefore you got a consistent floor. So this excites me. I like this. And just once again, because we're always learning at TileBar, our summer hands-on, if you're in Inwood, and you work for the TileBar team, I don't know, maybe anybody, we are actually doing a hands-on training for River Rock because I detest it so much, and to try to figure out how to overcome some of the issues that everyone has with River Rock when trying to install it.
So if you're not employed by TileBar, and if you are but haven't been onboarded yet, get on board quickly so you can participate. But if you're somebody that's not,
then you just got to watch the video.
Yeah,
the video will be on my YouTube channel, tiletheworld.com. Everybody subscribe, share, all those good things.
Let's see. Let's see what that looks like. What is your handle?
My handle is right here, even though it's going to put it in the wrong place, but at Tile the World.
Look at the left page, left of the page. At Tile the World. Love it.
At Tile the World. So that's me.
Perfect.
All right. What we got? Oh, how do you say this one, John?
Navari. So Navari is a 5-inch square, another unique size, correct?
That is, yeah. But once again, the size on the sheet looks like a 3x12.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But this look does not. This look looks very, in my opinion, kind of classic, like a late 90s tile, even though it would have been like a 12x12, 13x13, maybe 16x16.
Yeah. So what's interesting is it's an aged stone look, but square 5-inch size makes it, could be like more of a contemporary the way you put it together. So yeah, this is really cool. You have to get your hands on this because it has a really cool finish to it. An extruded porcelain, which is cool. And it has like that handmade look to it. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, Craig, I do agree with you. Would have been hard to have these pictures square instead of rectangle, but anyway.
Hey, I'm thankful for this because I didn't have to make it. And okay, another Nobu. That's what my wife says to me when we get in bed. Nobu.
It says coming soon in the future. We don't know when.
Coming soon.
All right. So okay, I'm thinking Kenridge. Like this is So what stands out? It says wide band. So I believe that this is the scale of this is much different than the Kenridge series.
Yeah.
And pairs well with pebble stones. How's that?
Maybe some of the same colorways.
Interesting.
Large format tile.
Maybe the next page will tell us. Does the next page have Nobu pebbles?
Let's see.
No, it does not.
But this tile right here is hot.
You know about this.
It's a normal. It's a little bit a different version of the Parma that we currently have, which I know about that from our good friend Nathan that is doing his personal bathroom in the Parma currently. And also, John, I don't know if I told you this. I went to a development with our corporate team the other day, just looking around for possible things. I
Top secret.
Top secret. But the Parma collection was on an exterior wall of a restaurant here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow.
So this, I think, is an addition to that Parma series. It's done really well. And this is another size that can be used in with the stars, because there's a star, I think.
Well, this is the elongated star, I guess.
Elongated star, and then it goes together with the cross or the plus.
Oh, I don't know what cool. You
call it. But yeah, so this is exciting. This is obviously done really well, which is why we expanded the series.
Pretty hot.
Yeah. Roller derby.
Roller. So interesting. Porcelain and ceramic. What does that mean?
How does that happen?
Interesting. So 4x36, 4x12.
Yeah.
Not 100, not 13x11. That's, I think, 3x11. 4x4. So, folks, these are internal top secret documents that we're showing. So we shouldn't be criticizing them. So 4x36, 4x12, 3x11, 4x4.
Okay.
Wow. So kind of minimalistic, kind of monotone product.
Back to those warm colors, right, John?
Yeah, Koto or terracotta color, like the top right one, would not have lived 5 years ago when grays and whites were king.
I don't think the taupe would either.
Yeah, you're right about that. Elongated subway, pretty cool. Romani. So this is a porcelain, nice finish, like a satin finish to it. Really well done.
Yeah, some classic stone looks. If you're going for that stone look, but you want the durability of porcelain, which I know highly suggest, then you are you're going to find it here on the Romani series, 12 by 24. So you got big panels.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That Zobrino is like that very linear look. Then you have that travertine. That's just gorgeous.
Yeah. I don't like the Zobrino. I do like the travertine. I like the travertine look.
I can appreciate it, but I can't. Like, I would be tired of it after a month.
Yeah, I always thought even the natural stone that have that Zobrino look, I don't know what that stone is called. I've always thought it looked hokey.
It's loud.
Yeah. Santo.
I was going to say Santo. So 36.
Oh, this one comes with a bull nose.
Wow, shocking. So
natural texture.
Line provides lots of variation piece to piece. So yeah, pretty cool. So this has 4 colors. There's a charcoal black. There's like a warm brown, like a black brown, kind of the earth brown. Nice tile. Has a nice texture.
This is your kind of basic lobby tile where you want it to kind of be timeless, last forever.
Yeah, and 2x2 mosaic, 3x24 bullnose. This is just a great staple item, and I see this many applications, floors, walls, really residential, commercial.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
like it.
Absolutely. Oh, another one that we just got to use our imagination.
So stonework barcode Botticino is just an addition to the existing stonework line, which is pretty new also. It's kind of a dimensional stone. I think it starts out with like a 1/2 inch thick marble, but then it's carved down into like a barcode, like a very modern looking stone with square edges. So we're adding Botticino marble to it, which is a Spanish or Italian stone rather, Botticino.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what you said on that.
All right.
What about, and then you got the stonework fluted travertine, which I've seen some of our fluted travertines. They're really high quality, really look nice. And back in the day, if you wanted a fluted piece of stone, you were going to pay high dollar. It was, most of the time it was made to order.
Right.
I mean, you could find some that you could get at maybe as a deco or something like that, but not a 12 by 24. If you wanted that, you had to call the quarry up, tell them what you want, and wait 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's the stonework line is done really well. So can't wait to show you pictures of this when it's all ready. All right, so let's go through this. So vanilla
ice. Oh, here we go. Terame.
Yeah, I think you got the name right. 12 by 36, 24 by 48, 36 by 36, folks. This is a ceramic tile, which is, those are big size for a ceramic tile. 24
yeah, it is.
By 48. I'm questioning that, but it is from Spain. I can see Spain pulling that off. Classic mid-century deco patterns provide a geriatric look. So look at that, like just like, wow, mid-century. I mean, I almost look at the bottom one; it's almost Moroccan looking. But
I that's what I was thinking. I couldn't come up with the word, but you took it out of my head.
It's a
Terrazzo, Italy.
Yeah. So you're familiar with
Terrazzo's hot, right now.
So these are additions to the colorway, the Cava Terra, and the Cava Notte. So you see that black. What's cool about that black is it has like white and some little rose tone in there. It's really nice. I can see that.
Very vintage looking. I mean,
exactly.
I the building that held my school at college a lot of their floors had that exact same terrazzo pattern in it, and it was done in probably the 50s and 60s. So
when you open the Craig's Bistro in Raleigh, you're gonna put that on the floor.
Lord, nobody'd come eat at my bistro.
Okay, let's pass this on. Travertine Caesar.
Trevino. I've seen this. I was actually at our New Jersey warehouse working with the sample team with this material. It is so unique because you can see the patterns in there, and they're completely different textures. Like the light pattern is almost like a bush hammered feel, and then the little bit darker is a really high honed. It's a really neat material and would make a really cool accent wall.
So it's a cool way of creating a pattern with one solid piece of stone, and you're creating the pattern by working it differently, right? So if you take the stone and you hone it or polish it or sandblast it, it's going to it just inherently changes the color or the tone of it, and they're doing it in a pattern. That's pretty wild.
And once again, I'm assuming this is all done on a machine, and they have it pre-programmed. And but this would look really cool and randomly set. I mean, anywhere. But once again, it is a natural stone, and therefore, you gotta use grout release and then seal it and take care of it. But
hold on a second. What sealer do you not want to use with this?
I would use a natural sealer. I would not use an enhancing sealer.
Yeah.
I would use a natural sealer just because
you gotta undo the pattern.
Yeah. You're going to undo what you paid extra for.
And what's really exciting is this beautiful rectangular tile is really 4-inch square. So
that's right. That's right.
There's obviously a template when we created these things.
They dropped these in. All right, Vinny. Not my Vanini, not my cousin Vinny. My cousin Vanini.
My cousin Vanini. So this is cool. This is a recycled glass, and it's a frosted finish. And because it's a recycled glass, it's actually suitable for floors. It's pretty. You hear, Craig, you go to a brown box and it has like a picture of a glass. What does that mean on it with a line through it? It usually means fragile, right? But so when people hear glass, you're like, put that on the floor. There are some manufacturers where you can put glass on the floor. Oceanside Glass, a lot of their products, because the way they're made.
Hey, you buy it. You can do whatever you want with it. Just don't. When somebody falls down, it's not my fault.
Yeah. Well, yeah, correct. But when they say suitable for floors, they're not necessarily talking about slip resistance. They're talking about durability.
Yeah,
and in this
it's
case,
not going to scratch up, or the surface abrasion is pretty high. I think it's cool. I mean, once again, those I keep going back to the 70s. Kind of some 70s colors,
coral color, right?
Yeah, it looks like a
black, green, beige,
a logo for a pop bottle. I don't know if you call it pop or cola or soda or whatever.
This. We could have been doing this product introduction like 1978, and this would have been very appropriate.
Yeah.
Beige square. Someone said, why don't you guys make a white or a gray? Like, what are you talking about? No one uses white or gray. But this is pretty cool. The coral and the black. Imagine those together. Oh, this sounds cool.
Zentech. Look at all the sizes, man. This is.
Yeah. So this is a really, nice, well done marble look, and
got a paver in it, so it's
So when someone says paver, what does that mean?
Normally that means it is 2 cm thick, which means it's 20 millimeters, 2 centimeters thick, and it can be installed like exterior paver. So it can be installed in a sand set or just like any of your landscaping items out back. So that's really cool. Indoor, it's very versatile.
Yeah, indoor, outdoor. So this is residential, commercial, right? Because you can do exterior pavers. But look at the paver size, 24 by 48 pavers. Pavers were typically 24 by 24.
Yeah.
Who's lifting that?
About 4 people.
Right.
But the reason for that is the different sizes is you create an interior out exterior space that looks like a cohesive space. So you really, this was a big deal during COVID. You know, people wanted to have that exterior living, but not feel separated from the people in the house. So it's kind of all connected.
Yeah. So it's the same look inside and out, but typically you're not putting interior tile, has a certain thickness that makes sense, and exterior tile has a certain thickness that makes sense. So in the past, if you wanted to have a cohesive look, it really was difficult to do or impossible. Here, you can have an exterior paver that's 2 centimeters thick, and you can have an interior tile, which is a standard thickness, which would be like 10 millimeters. So,
if you wanted to do this 15 years ago, you would have to go with stone, and you'd have to have an exterior 3 cm, probably paver outside, and then have the same block cut into 1 cm inside. And then you could have the, but that was very expensive, a special order. Once again, you're going to the quarry, you're picking out a block, blah, 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 blah. But now we make it easy. TileBar makes it easy.
Yeah, because the other way sounds out of budget.
Exactly. And John, that's the end of.
I was going to guess that Z was the last one.
I did say it was in alphabetical order, but there were a couple thrown in there that were not. But I don't.
So what's the takeaway?
The takeaway is we've got a lot of material coming that is awesome, and there's a lot of stuff on the website now that's awesome. And John, did you know? I just found this out the other day. Do you know what the DAG team is?
Yes, I do.
I didn't know that existed until the other day.
It's like the FBI. It's like a little stealth division of TileBar.
Yeah.
And the design, I don't even know what it stands for, Design Access Group or something.
I don't know exactly what it accesses. I do too. And I'm actually working with them to create some assets. But what is so cool about this, if you saw anything you liked here, if you're watching tonight or 10 weeks from now, we have a group of designers that work in our studio in New York. I think most of them work in New York, and they will design your space for you. And what is so crazy about this, now this is a new program. I don't know if it's going to last forever this way, but right now we don't charge anything for their design help. So if you're like me and you can't match your clothes, you can go to these wonderful people that work for TileBar, tell them your measurements, show them your drawings. They will get on a Zoom call with you and design your kitchen, your bathroom, pool. I'm not sure. I'm assuming they'll design anything we can tile. And through that design period, they'll help you pick out a vanity and a shower system. But not only that, they can help you with paint colors that we have nothing to do with. It is a service for you. And that's really so cool.
It really is cool. It's TileBar is very dynamic and multifaceted. So a lot of our clients use designers, where they're hiring designers, bringing them in, doing hands-on, sitting down with the family, understanding all about, what you want to accomplish, look at your budget, help to, work with the contractor. And that there's huge value in doing that and paying somebody. But there are some other people that don't have the budget to hire a designer. And look, if you have the money to hire someone, you're going to hire someone to come in and give you renderings and pet your dog and, become your friend and all that stuff. Yeah, so, but if you're doing it yourself and you need a little help, the DAG team can definitely help you out. So you got to go to our website and seek that out. So that is pretty cool.
And that's what made me think of this. All these new things, I get overwhelmed, and that's pretty easy to do. I'm limited. And these designers can kind of rein you in. Hey, what do you like? What do you want? And design something amazing for you. So I just thought I'd bring that up, since tonight's all been about. I guess we were talking about the HD Expo, but we kind of transitioned into the things coming new on TileBar, which as you know, John and I.
Right. Well, it's why HD Expo exists, right?
That's right. And I'm sure there's
why
other
HD Expo exists.
There's other things out there that we're releasing things to also, but not as cool as ours.
So one of the takeaways I had from that, and we talked about it briefly, are the formats, right? A couple of items, like a couple of 12 by 24s were just thrown in there, but even if there was a series that had 12 by 24, it had 4 other sizes to it. So
right.
I think the real takeaway is we have 5 by 12s and 5 by 18s and 4 by 4s and what'd you say, 124 by 3,982 tile. Right. We had all sorts of funky tile.
They're just numbers for us. I mean, we will make a tile out of anything.
Exactly. Well, this has been fun to go to those who were not fortunate enough to be at the HD Expo. We're glad that we're able to give you this visual presentation of some of the hot new products that are coming out in the industry. And like Craig mentioned before, these are new TileBar products, but people, we're setting the path. We're trendsetters, and you'll see these type of products coming out like years from now. We're coming out with them. When are we coming out with them? Soon.
That's right. We're not going to put any dates out there, but soon. So if you saw something you like,
soon. We guarantee quick service at TileBar, no matter how long it takes. So
that's right. And we will answer all of your comments and questions quickly, no matter how long it takes.
Exactly. Yeah. So, hey, we forgot to mention that this is the Tile Happy Hour. We're usually here on Tuesdays, 8:00. Sometimes we're somewhere else in the world, and we're broadcasting live from Atlanta or Jerusalem, wherever it takes. We're there.
That's right.
And sometimes you'll have an encore presentation. And when we do that, it's because we have, sometimes we have requests. People want to see certain episodes. So we'll show them again. Craig and I get to do our things outside of our podcast that are quite demanding. And so you'll see a lot of past shows that give you a lot of information. We have a lot of new shows coming up. We have a lot of guests, and we're working on some new exciting formats. So hang tight. We got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm excited about the future as we roll into this summer. I think you're going to see some changes with the Tile Happy Hour, and they're all going to be good. And I'm excited about that. John, I know you are, and I hope everybody out there in Tile World is also.
Well, speaking of Tile World, in Atlanta, I was encouraged about how many people gave us some feedback about the show.
Yeah.
And it was all good. All the negative feedback, I guess they didn't tell us. They didn't want to break our heart. Right. So we only got the positive stuff. Well, Tile Happy Hour every Tuesday, 8 p.m. John and Craig Cahoon. This is John Tedisco. I'd like to wish everybody peace, health, and happiness.
And let's always keep learning together, whether you're installing tile, LVT, whatever you're doing. Let's do it smart and tile the world.